Hey, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this motivational coaching tip and life coaching session. I want to invite each of you that have never had the opportunity to visit my website to check out my website, www.michaelmccain.org. I need you guys to subscribe, and I need you guys to stay connected, to stay in the know. As we move forward into this topic, we're talking about potential. And many of you have serious potential. Many of you have been told that you have potential over and over and over again, but yet you're not producing the type of results that you would like to see in your life. And if you're anything like me, you're absolutely sick of potential. I'm sick of potential, me personally. I'm sick of potential to the degree that it has sparked something in me that causes me to take my life, my work, my brand, my gifts, my contribution to society and the world way more serious than I ever have been. And no matter where you are in life, young or old, you will have several bouts with potential. You will have several moments in your life where you sit there and say, have I accomplished everything in my life that I have set out to do? Have I made significant strides and achievements in my present life? You know, everyone has visited something in a time period in their life that they're absolutely thrilled and proud about. But can you say in your present life that I have made some milestones, hallmarks, or I have visited some experiences that cause me to feel fulfilled, that cause me to feel thrilled with life, that cause me to feel I have accomplished something worthy and great and honorable, whether great, big or small, etc. You need to be in the space where you're not just hinging on potential, but that you're walking in the fullness of your potential and purpose. So let's just take a look at the word potential defined. The word potential defined says this: it is existing in possibility, capable of development into actuality. The second definition says expressing possibility, of relating to or constituting a verb phrase expressing possibility, liberty, or power by the use of an auxiliary with an infinitive of the verb, as it may rain, or as in you may be rich if you walk out and fulfill your destiny. The may, the big maybe, the big elephant that's in the room, that you could go further, that you have existing qualities in your life that could render you to do something great, be something great, be someone great, achieve something that no one else has achieved before. So, are you just existing in the realm of possibility, or are you moving ahead in your life, or moving in the speed or momentum of the actual reality of producing something that is noteworthy, that you can say, I am most proud of myself for making this accomplishment? And I want to lead in with telling you something that I have recently been able to get up off the ground. And those of you that are networking with me, and those of you that follow my work, know some of the ventures that I have been working on, and I have been blessed and afforded to accomplish something that I say is way bigger than me. Something that I have been burning, yearning, and earning to do. And that is starting a company, a nonprofit, to do outreach in the community, do work with the homeless, the needy, and to take my work as an entrepreneur and speaker and minister and spiritual teacher, all of that wonderful stuff, but to be able to take it and give back to the community and have a venture that makes it profitable for me to do that. So, having said that, I was blessed to be able to accomplish this milestone, something that has been harboring in my heart, in my mind, for a long period of time. And if you're ever going to achieve your potential or maximize your potential, you have to start making moves. You have to kill that procrastination, that thing that keeps you in limbo, keeps you desiring to do a thing but never moving forward in it. You have to kill that. You have to kill that spirit about yourself and start setting some things in place. You have to get your priorities in order. So the number one thing, because these are going to be 5 quick steps and quick tips to empower you to unlock your potential. And these 5 steps mean evaluate what your priorities are. That's the number one step. Number one, key number one, evaluate your priorities. And by evaluating your priorities, you're going to do 3 key things. Make a decision. Number one, make a decision on what's important to you. What is important to you? What really matters to you? What gets your heart going? And the second you're going to do is, in evaluating your priorities, is what makes you happy. Decide that. What makes me happy? And 3, you're going to make a decision. And this again is in evaluating your priorities. Number 3, you're going to make a decision on what would you do for free. So that is the question you have to ask yourself. If I was to be in the fullness of my element, in the fullness of who I am and what I represent, the fullness of my capacity of wisdom and teaching, etc. If I was able to produce that and had the opportunity to live and be that and walk in that, would I do that for free? That's the thing that you need to ask yourself. What's important to you? What makes you happy? What would you do for free? I mean, absolutely for free. If no one ever paid you, ever gave you a dime, but this is this very thing that you do, you're actually good at it. You're the best at it. No one can beat you at it. Would you do it for free? This is the way that you're going to come to the answers that you need to unlock your potential. You have to make a decision, conscious decision, on where you're going and what you're doing. Setting the road for you to get there. And these questions are going to help you get there. Now, we just finished phase 1, evaluate your priorities. Key number 2 is you have to let go of the things that don't serve you. Let go of the things that don't serve you. So most of us, in our best state in life, we feel energized, alive, and we feel like making a contribution or doing something that says we're giving back, or we like to do things that show in our lives that progress is being made. But the question we need to ask ourselves, is this really helping me? Is this really advancing me? Is this really taking me to my next stage or phase in life? When I consider my priorities and when I consider so many other things happening in my life, does this situation best serve me? Is there anything else that I could be doing? Any other area that I could be working on that's going to improve my life and take me to my next phase or stage. So if partnering, sometimes we get in situations where we partner with friends, loved ones, and family members because we want to do that noble thing. We want to help this individual, but we have a problem with saying no. And what I want you to understand is that you have to make a conscious decision in your life not to get involved with people, places, and things that don't serve you. And this is the one time I want you to understand that it's okay to be selfish. Because if you make up in your mind that you have a set destiny, that you have a place that you want to arrive at in life, the only way that you're ever going to meet or get to that place is to make healthy decisions about your life and to only involve yourself in things that best serve you, that best complement your gifts, your anointing, the goals that you have set, that complement the destiny that you're working towards, moving towards, progressing towards. Notice how I use those frame of words, because all of us think that we're doing something, and some of us may not realize how stagnant we are because we're stuck in situations with people, places, and things that we may need to let go of. So key number 2 is evaluating the fact that we may need to let go of the things that don't serve you. Number 3. This is key number 3. We're moving pretty smoothly. Commit to 3 priorities. What are your top 3 priorities? And you can balance this out in a number of ways. You can make priorities on, my number 1 priority will be my time with God and working on my spiritual relationship or anything that causes me to grow. That's number 1. 2, it could be working on whatever new gift, talent, or service or product that it is that you want to bring to the world. 3, it is taking the time to enjoy life, live life, and thrive with life, and not just be caught up in the slavery mentality of being forced to produce something, being forced to work, being forced to do all these things because you have a deadline, you got goals to keep up with, but not having true balance with your life. So those are some basic steps or commitments to priorities, 3 basic priorities. But some priorities that you could set for yourself as a business person, and this is key things that every business person needs to be doing. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you sell cookies. I don't care if you're a music artist. I don't care if you're an author. I don't care if you are a fashion consultant, marketer, whatever you do, tax preparer, salesperson, in any arena. I don't care what it is that you do. These are the priorities that you need to make for yourself as commitments. Commit to these 3 priorities. Number 1, content creation. More people would support what you do if you could be more creative in your presentation. And if you were able to show people through your presentation how they can support you, why it is important to support you, what value do you bring with your product or service or as an individual or brand. What is that you bring to the community that they need to be aware of, that they should pull out their pocketbook, purse, checkbook, credit card, PayPal account? Why should they support what you're doing? And you do that by creatively pulling together content creation. That should be your number 1 priority when you are a business person, because we're living in the information age and social media age, and I can't even express to you how imperative it is for you to be creative in this sense, in creating content that reaches out to people, that informs people of what it is that you do and gets your message out. You can't even pay for that level of marketing, for that level of exposure, etc., that you would generate from doing something just that simple. Your second, commit to these 3 priorities. Number 1, creating content creation. Number 2 is helping people make positive and personal changes. And you might be saying to yourself, how in the world does that benefit me? Most of us can do this through whatever vehicle or field it is that we work in. You can help people make positive personal changes just by providing resources. If you are a music artist and you know how to get connected, how to find distributors, how to do this and how to do that, and you are knowledgeable in that area, the worst thing that you could be is stingy with information. As it applies to me, let's use me as an example. As being an author and a speaker and an entrepreneur, I'm bombarded with questions about how to do this, how to do that, how to set up a business, how to set up that. Just staying abreast to what is the most current resources and things that people can use to get their start, however that may be, or just providing simple advice or tips and etc. that people could use to help them make a positive change in their life. That makes a great and a big difference. So that needs to be your second commitment and priority, is to help people make positive changes, however that may play out in your field of business and in your field of outreach and your field of marketing yourself. Help people make positive changes. That adds value to what you do. It adds value to your brand and it adds value to your life. The third commitment to priority would be for you to use stories that inspire meaningful action. As you work on your presentation, as you work on your marketing, as you work on your content, infuse your content with stories that inspire meaningful action. I'm talking that deep thought. I'm talking, when you're in the secular arena, I'm talking that motivational transparency, where you take a moment of your life and you tell the story and everyone in the room or everyone listening goes, or something about that story begins to resonate with them, whether if they've had that actual experience or not, but something in them starts to stir and say, wow, that's deep. That hit me. I need to make some changes. I need to do something that causes my life to have a different course, or set myself on a different course for different results. And by example, something that happened in my life, I can remember when I was turning 26 years old, something happened. I remember reading an article where it stated that if you don't make certain strides of achievement and you don't accomplish certain things by a certain age of your life, and from that article, I believe that was between the age of 24 and 28 years old, that if you had not accomplished what you have set out in your life to accomplish, chances are you will settle for wherever you are in life, and whatever those goals or dreams were, you would never achieve. And when I read that, that was all the motivation I would have ever need to change my behavior and to change the circumstances of what was going on in my life. I felt like in that moment, you mean to tell me that if I don't get my act together right now, here, right now, in this moment, I will never be a best-selling author? I will never have a multi-million-dollar company? I will never fulfill my purpose and destiny and reaching the world and empowering people and changing lives? You mean I would never do such a thing? And that was the key thing that motivated me to change my behavior, change my priorities, change my goals, change friendships and partnerships and things and people that I was connected to, and really hone in and focus on what really matters to me. What really makes a difference to me? And what are the things that best serve me, that's going to push me forward into my destiny? And once I began to focus on those things, there was a complete and total shift. The person that you see today, I literally can say that I was always this person. It just took a while to begin to manifest some of the brilliance that people are currently seeing right now. And if it wasn't for those moments of consistently working on my purpose, and in my honest opinion, that is the definition of success, is to consistently walk in your purpose or fulfill your purpose. So that is what I had to do to reach this point. Stay consistent, stay true to what was meaningful to me, keep my priorities in check, and commit to them. And we have just 2 more keys to go, and we're just going to complete this segment. Key number 4: create a schedule that works best for you. No matter what level of life that you're on, the pursuit of your dream, the pursuit of being an entrepreneur, or turning your brand and everything that you have produced into a success. Everyone is not the starving entrepreneur. And by starving entrepreneur, that is a phrase or term that is used for those that have completely sold out and said to themselves, look, I can't do the 9-to-5 thing because what is in me is burning so great that I'm not happy working a job. I can't work a job. I just want to devote my life fully to my purpose, and that is all that I'm going to do. And guess what? That comes with a big price tag. I would never recommend to anyone, if you have a degree, if you have basic job skills, if you have the ability to get up and go, and you have the ability to stay focused and self-motivated, then why not work a job? But if you have circumstances in your life that don't lead you that direction, then take what you have and work it. And so I need those of you that are listening to create a schedule structure that works best for you. If it means that you work on your purpose after work, you commit to working on your business and building your business after work and in between time and on the weekends, on your days off, then that is your time frame and your commitment. But also remember to schedule in that fun time, that family time, that husband-wife time, and even some me time. So what you will begin to see is that if you're going to consistently operate in your purpose and manifest your purpose and destiny, you're going to have to become a very organized individual. You're going to have to become a systematic individual. And you're going to have to understand that, no, you can't control everything that happens, but you're responsible for your destiny and for your legacy. And considering such, create a schedule and a structure that is tailor-made to serve you. That's what makes you powerful when you're an entrepreneur and you're an artist or author or all of these things that represent the same thing. Someone ambitious, going after something, someone creating waves and making change, taking their power into their own hands. If that is you as an entrepreneur, if that is you as a business owner, if that is you as a CEO, then you need to be an organized individual. You need to be a strategic individual. You need to approach the things that you do with great wisdom. So create a schedule that works for you, that serves you best. If it's 2 to 3 hours a day after work that you get to work on your business or your brand or your artistry, that is what you do. And guess what? I used to say in my time of ministry that it would require you 2.40 minutes. And I used to call it the 240 challenge. I used to challenge people for 2 hours and 40 minutes a day to be spiritual. That meant to read the Bible. That meant to pray. That meant to meditate and work on your spiritual life. If you did that for 2 hours and 40 minutes every day, you would be a better person overall. And as I began to develop more as an entrepreneur, that message and that principle began to evolve. And I went from applying it to the spiritual life to applying it to my natural life. That if I took 2 hours and 40 minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes a day, I don't care what it is that I'm working on, what it is that I'm doing, how many places I'm traveling to, whatever, 2 hours and 40 minutes a day to work on my destiny, work on my purpose, review my goals, do a self-evaluation. Am I staying abreast with my goals? Am I staying abreast with my targets? Am I writing enough? Am I completing assignments? Am I reaching deadlines? And during those times, there may be revisions, there may be things that get changed, there may be things that get repurposed, but ultimately those moments are to serve you, to help you to understand, am I staying true to my calling, my destiny, my purpose? Am I working in the fullness of my potential in those moments? So those moments will serve you well. And I need you to challenge yourself to say to yourself, look, just 2 hours and 40 minutes a day, I'm going to do something to manifest my destiny and live in my purpose. Okay, our last step that I want to include in this formula that we have talked about, and these are keys to unlocking your full potential. The last key and step that I want to talk about is another key and step that is broken down in a formula of ABC. And it's one method, but broken down into an ABC method. And that is plan for inspiration. You need to do things that inspire you, keep you motivated, keep you lifted. And one of the ways to do that is to schedule or plan your work week or your work month. And the thing that I do is I plan my work, I categorize things, and I put it in a managing system of what goals and things that I need to tackle and accomplish within a given time period, whether if that's a week, a month, or 2 weeks, etc. And I measure my success by tackling those assignments, whether small or great, and making sure that I complete them before time, on time, or maybe in some cases it took a little longer. And don't defeat yourself or beat yourself up about it, but you've completed other tasks a day or two, or maybe even a few hours past the deadline. But at least the gist of it is that the work is done, it's completed. So I do mines by a ABC method for planning inspiration, and this is the fifth key to unlocking your full potential is to plan for inspiration. And you do that by A, planning your workflow. You have to plan your workflow, and in your workflow leave room for creativity, time to think. I call it warring. There's times where I want to go to war and I want to think creatively. What new idea do I need to come up with? How am I going to plan that idea? How am I going to market that idea? How am I going to strategize that idea? And so you need to map out your week. How many hours you dedicate to certain things that you need to do and accomplish. And part B is having fit moments. And that is moments where you do things for sheer exercise. I'm a walker. I love to walk. Walking energizes me. It fuels me. It gives me the moment to de-stress and to allow myself to let go of some things. And my best times walking sometimes is talking to a new client, someone that I didn't have intention to speak to in that moment or that day. Sometimes it involves talking to close friends that you haven't had the moment to talk to in a long time. And so I'm using that moment to get fit and also to catch up. I'm walking, I'm exercising, I'm energetic, I'm de-stressing, and then doing moments where you have just small moments of exercise where you're relieving some tension or stress through physical fitness. And this is a method that I use. I don't exercise as nearly as much as I would like to, but one thing I do on most occasions is I walk every day. So you may never understand the importance of putting some of these things into your formula, your work routine, your work ethic. It may not all make sense to you right now, but once you begin to organize your life and becoming a more organized person, you will start to see how these things greatly affect your productivity and your potential of becoming greater and better. And the last thing, you have A, create a workflow, B, have fit moments, and C, you need to have play moments. And I don't mean it in the childish aspect, but guess what? Whatever floats your boat. So if play for you means riding a bike or going to play some video games, if play for you means taking your children out, having a family moment or day, going to the park or something like that, if play for you means going to the spa, getting your feet pedicured, etc., or your nails done or hair done, just a moment to relax and breathe. And in those moments, please don't think anything about work. Don't worry about work. There comes a time in your life where you have to turn work off. You have to think about something else. You have to think about life and living and loving and having fun. And those moments are the moments where you need to do that. So if you master these 5 keys that we talked about during this segment, you will unlock your full potential. You'll become a more organized person. You'll become a more organized individual, more motivated individual. And those moments of play create spontaneity for you, where you can now do something that you've always wanted to do. Take a trip, visit a restaurant you've always wanted to go to, visit some community activity that's going on in your area that you normally don't have time to do. It could be a show at a theater, it could be the comedy club, it could be anywhere, somewhere that you normally don't have the time to participate in those activities. Allow yourself to have that moment of fun. Invest that moment in yourself, and understand that as you do so, take these moments. You give yourself a moment to relax, to de-stress, not to worry or think about work and the responsibilities that you're facing. And you also empower yourself to live a better quality of life, a more balanced life. So we know from what we have defined earlier that potential is something that lies within an individual that's capable of becoming real. That idea, that business, that goal, that success that you want to reach is capable of becoming real. But what is going to be your strategy and your method, that process that's going to get you there? I promise you, if you utilize some of the strategies and the things that we've talked about during this coaching session, I promise you it will set you on a road to accomplishing that and creating a more quality and balanced life for yourself. If anything that I have said to you today has been productive, has been fruitful, has been helpful, has been informative, please, by all means, visit my website, subscribe to my site, www.michaelmccain.org. Again, that is www.michaelmccain.org. And Pray for me. I need to stop saying WW. I mean, everybody knows that you need to type that in. So michaelmccain.org. For more information, please subscribe while you're there. Subscribe if you're watching this from YouTube or wherever you may be watching this, an app. You can connect with me anywhere on the web by getting to my website, finding my YouTube page, Dr. Michael McCain, on Twitter as well as Instagram. Connect with me on those social media sites. You can also find me on Amazon, and please support my work. If you see anything there that you would most interested in reading, please support. To take this lesson and this inspiration to another level, please check out my books if you're into business. We have Called to Affluence. That is a spiritual book written for individuals that do business. And if that's you, I definitely want you to check that book out, because it has so many nuggets that go from the comparison of scripture and people and places within scripture and how it relates to business and things that we're dealing with in our natural lives. It's a very powerful book that you want in your arsenal. Second book that deals with finance and growth is Wealth and Abundance, the 21-day devotional. It is a power-packed book, 21 days that you will experience renewing your mind about what you think about concerning finances and money. It's a powerful experience that you must encounter. And for those that are in the secular world and building businesses and starting from scratch, and how do I do all of this? Well, The Newborn Entrepreneur is the perfect book for you to have in your arsenal. It shows you my transparency of mistakes that I've made, things that I learned along the journey of starting and failing in business, as well as things that I learned from very wealthy mentors that I was privileged to have in my life. And last but not least, we have Think Like a Millionaire. If you're at the stage where you've gotten certain things accomplished, you have a good career, you may have started a very fruitful business, and you want to learn how to better manage your money, where to invest your money, and things that you need to do, that is a book that is worth your time. A lot of my books are available currently on audiobook via iTunes and Amazon, so please check those out. And I thank you for taking this time to listen and support. There will be more of these podcasts and tutorials and coaching sessions coming in the future. This is just a small start to a greater beginning. And remember to dream big and die empty.